So it is Monday morning, approximately 2:30 a.m. and I'm exhausted. Billy went home about 12:30. We have thrashed on this thing all day. We went to Marion and made a 330-foot test hit and aborted the run because this thing has a massive oil leak. I thought we had it fixed. Evidently, that's not the case. It made a 330-foot hit, and it was very rich, very, very, very rich. We had the 750 CSU carburetor on it, and I was not expecting that. With the larger intake runners and lower compression, I figured that port velocity would be way down. If anything, we'd have to richen it up. So I took everything with me that I needed to put fuel in it. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything to take fuel away from it. Once we got it home, I made some corrections to the carburetor, and that was all good. And then we started running into other problems. Come to find out, the needle and seats, the O-rings were bad in the needle and seats. The needle and seats were shot. We were having trouble with it. Needle and seats not operating properly, and we fought this thing all day. And so here we are. It's 2:30 in the morning. I think we've got a baseline for ignition timing. I think we've got a baseline for our jetting and our tune-up. The problem is now that two of the bowl screws stripped out of the back of the main body. And those are, unfortunately, those are special Holley only thread. I did also find out that the floats in Billy's carburetor were shot. It needed new floats, so I put new floats, I put new needle and seats in it, and got that all done. I was just buttoning the thing up, and I was putting the rear bowl back on, and one of the bowl screws stripped. So that's gonna about do it for tonight. All right, guys, so it's Monday morning. I messaged Terry McMullen last night to see if Jegs was open today, and thank God they are. I sent him a parts list this morning of everything we needed. Jegs had almost every bit of it in stock. So I'm on my way up to Delaware, up to the warehouse. I mentioned in a few videos back that I felt pretty strongly that we were going to struggle, and we definitely are. So here we go. We're on our way to the Jegs warehouse in Delaware. So we got our parts, and thanked the young man in there at the counter for working today. And he said, oh, no problem, they're paying me double time. So there's little things like that that people don't realize that go on behind the scenes at a place like Jegs or Summit, whatever. You know, they do a lot of things that people don't realize or maybe take for granted, like keeping people here on a holiday weekend, paying them double time so that people like me can come in and get parts. And Jegs doesn't sponsor us, and we're not asking for anything. I'm thankful that we can come up here on a holiday, on a Monday, Memorial Day, and get parts, and that these people are willing to pay double time for employees to come up here and dish parts out. So thank you guys. When I got back to the shop, I found my brother Jeremy here helping Billy pull the engine out of the truck. That was awfully nice of him to come down from the farm just to help us get this thing fixed.
I feel like I did this before, recently.
Let's go ahead and shove the truck out from underneath of it. That's good. Once we had the engine out of the truck, we started looking over everything very closely to see where all the oil leaks were coming from. Oil pan gasket looks like it's fine. While we're all busy out in the shop, Miss Vicky's got her own little project going on.
You're getting it.
Watering her flowers. The garden hose only reaches so far.
Scrappy's waiting on you.
Yep, you got him. You got him. Oh boy. All right, guys, so we found out why the rear main seal was leaking. Evidently, when we put this thing together, I put a little silicone on it, on the ends of the rear main seal, and of course on the ends of the cap. And some of the silicone squeezed out and actually got on the crankshaft journal. It set up, and it stuck right where the rear main seal rides on the crank journal. So it was just rolling around on there, stuck to the crank, and it was just slinging oil everywhere, making a hell of a mess. Bad luck, you know. Didn't catch it, didn't see it. Just a little teeny tiny glob of silicone, and it just stuck right to the crankshaft and dried there. So get it fixed. So once we got the new rear main seal installed, Billy carefully torqued down the rear main cap again, reinstalled the oil pump, and got ready to put the oil pan back on. As we were finishing up putting the oil pan on, Vicky comes out with a proposition for a movie night and pizza. And that's about the time Molly rolled up.
With everything being upside down, does that hurt anything?
Well, it gets totally disoriented and dizzy.
The blood runs to the...
Oh, that's what I'm thinking, you know.
So Vicky goes ahead and orders our pizza and gets movie tickets online for a movie at the theater. And Molly gets out her RC truck. Now, right about this time, we all kind of could use a break from working in the garage. So Billy gets out his RC truck and they get to racing. Now, Vicky had just left to go get pizza. So I know when she comes back and sees this cloud of dust, she's gonna be pissed. So I get out the water tank. Now we gotta be at the movie theater in about an hour. And it looks to me like the dust is already out of control. The kids are filthy dirty, the dogs are filthy dirty. And I figure when Vicky pulls in, she's gonna be completely upset. But as long as I do something to make an attempt to cure the situation, maybe I'll be okay. And not so much.
Quit! What the hell's the matter with you? Quit, Scrappy. How are you gonna go see a movie with us when you look like Pigpen?
We're going to Newark, right?
What the hell difference does it make?
I'm not going to Easton.
You're disgusting. You're filthy dirty. And you got my dogs filthy dirty. Are you dirty too?
Now we are about T-minus 45 minutes from reporting to the movie theater to watch this movie Vicky wants to see tonight.
What?
You're gonna make us late for the movie.
I ain't doing shit.
There's at least a half-hour previews.
Water softener.
No.
So we scarf down some pizza, Billy jumps in the shower, changes his clothes, and Vicky's hot on the gas pedal on the way to the movie theater because she don't want to miss any of this movie.
Go, 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 go.
Jesus.
You gotta follow directions. Vicky doesn't do anything illegal, except run stop signs. What is it? Well, F you too.
And to our millions of AMC Steps members, a very special thanks to you. We hope you're enjoying your savings, rewards, and exclusive benefits.
There.
Huh?
What do you have? Oh my gosh. No bitchin' in Miss Vicky's kitchen. That's great. And he spelled it right too. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Your mom was all excited this morning. She come upstairs hopping and skipping and jumping and clapping her hands. She shared Daddy Dave's post on Facebook and got a friend request from Daddy Dave.
I thought.
Only to find out it was a fake account trying to scam her. So now
Jumped
she's
in
all
my
upset.
messenger telling me I won $10,000.
So this makes it all better.
And look what came yesterday. These like retro frisbees from Peter Torres. That was cool.
Well, there's other stuff here. I don't know what all else is in here. You unwrap it.
Here, I'll hold it and you unwrap it.
Junior, you look concerned.
Is everything okay out there?
I'm just waiting on you.
You're waiting on me?
To see if that thing's moving again before we put it down in
Holy smokes, what
Oh
is this?
my gosh.
That's sweet.
No way.
That's definitely going on my shop wall out there.
That is amazing.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's cool.
So back out in the shop, we pull the distributor out of the engine, prime it, and I noticed that the distributor had been leaking around this slip collar. So I put some silicone underneath the slip collar, put the new gasket back on, and then a little bit of silicone below the gasket as well to keep it from leaking. By the time I had that done, Billy already had the engine set back in the truck with bell housing bolts started and all the motor mount bolts in the block. So the kids are out here working. I feel terrible that Billy had to pull that engine back out of that truck to fix that rear main seal, because ultimately that was my fault. You know, I've been putting those engines together for, I don't know, years and years, since I was 15, 16 years old. And I've never had a rear main seal problem in any of them. I'm gonna go in here and check on Vicky for a minute, see how she's doing while the kids are out there working.
Status report.
The engine's back in the truck.
Okay.
We pressure tested the crankcase with air, like I did last night when we pulled the engine out. And last night when we pulled it out, I pressurized the crankcase and it would just blow right out the rear main seal. Tested it again this morning when we went to put it back in, and it actually holds air pressure and it whistles out real slow, like it's sealed. So we're in good shape. You look like you're doubting me.
Well, like, had you pressure tested it the first time around?
No, I've never done it. I've never had a problem with the rear main seal before. I've never had that problem. Since I was 15, 16 years old, I've been putting small block Chevys together, and I've never had one do that.
All right. So now you just have a whistle. And that's okay.
Trust me.
I'm trying. I'm just a nervous mom. Is Billy less grumpy yet?
Yes.
Alright.
Tommy's actually editing video for
Helping
Billy
out, yeah.
while Billy's working, and I was taking clips. And then as I take the clips and Tommy's editing, I airdrop them to Tommy, so he just starts adding them into the timeline as we go. Trying to be more productive to help Billy.
Good deal.
So we're getting close, huh, Junior?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Any thoughts for today?
I just hope we don't have any more oil leaks. It's been a lot of hassle with this thing. Nothing but trouble. But I hope we can do some testing before No Prep Kings and, you know, make sure everything's good.
I feel like we've got a pretty close handle on the tune-up now as far as the ignition timing, the carburetor, and I think it's pretty close. It's not far off, and as close as it is, I feel like we could probably have it in a matter of hours. From that point on, it's just going to be a matter of you learning your numbers in the boost controller to command it to do what you want it to do. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this video up for today. We're getting ready to fire this thing up here in probably another hour or so, maybe 2 hours at the most. But I think we're going to be all right now. I really do. I really feel like we're pretty close on the tune. I really feel like we've got a really good starting point for today. So as long as we don't have any more problems, I think we're going to be okay. Pray for us. Thank you all very much for watching these videos and supporting my kids and buying the merchandise and all that, because without you all, we wouldn't be able to do this. Without you watching and sharing and liking the videos, it means a lot, guys. Watch for Billy's video coming up pretty soon. Tommy's in there editing it right now, and hopefully he'll have it up soon. Thank you, guys.